Would you move to a futuristic city in the middle of the desert? Over the next 4 years, Saudi Arabia is set to spend a whopping $500 billion to build a futuristic city, 17 times bigger than London and 33 times bigger than New York City. The goal is to build an innovation hub and tourist destination to lead the world in smart city technology and clean energy. But some think it's just a cry for attention, bound to fail. Make sure you stick around to the end so you can decide whether this is a model for the future or just another master-planned disaster. Why are the Saudis building NEOM? Well, the economy of Saudi Arabia is primarily reliant on the oil industry. While the oil sector is the country's strength, it is also acknowledged that this reliance on oil poses a danger to the country's economic security. As a result, the government is making an effort to diversify the economy. Announced in April 2016, the Saudi Vision 2030 initiative sought to prioritize big infrastructure projects, educational opportunities, scientific research, the healthcare system, and the tourism industry. This was done to prepare the way for new sectors to emerge, with a particular emphasis on future technology. Even if the scope and aims of these projects vary, they all have one thing in common. They all feature structural investments that are intended to expand the regional economy into new sectors. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, the son of Saudi Arabia's monarch King Salman, is driving the project ahead. In spite of his official titles, the Crown Prince and Minister of Defense, MBS, is already widely considered the de facto leader of Saudi Arabia, and Vision 2030 is a key part of this strategy. The NEOM project was announced by MBS at the 2017 Future Investment Initiative Conference and grew out of Vision 2030. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia intends to spend $50 billion in public funds to build a futuristic metropolis with no automobiles, no streets, and zero net greenhouse gas emissions. NEOM, or the Line, will be located in the northwestern Taubach region. If successful, it will be the world's largest high-tech business center in an area 33 times larger than New York City. According to the projections, by 2030, the project would provide 38,000 jobs and contribute 48 billion US dollars to the kingdom's GDP. The Crown Prince declared that the Line will be a safe and sustainable city, saying, "What's the point of sacrificing nature for the sake of advancement? Why should pollution be responsible for the deaths of 7 million people per year?" For this reason, a great deal of effort has been focused on the technical and environmental plans for the place with no automobiles, streets, and carbon emissions. The entire city is meant to be powered by renewable energy and administered on the basis of smart city technology. Robots and artificial intelligence are expected to play a critical role in security, logistics, home delivery, the provisions of healthcare, and the overall development of the city. Lots of countries are undertaking projects like this, but what's unique about this city? The Line is not intended to be a traditional city, but rather a linear metropolis, 3 miles wide and 150 miles long for 1 million people. According to plans, the entire project would cover a total land area of 10,200 square kilometers, connecting Jordan and Egypt via Saudi Arabia. Drawings of the Line depict the city's infrastructure as a 3-tier design, each layer having a dedicated function. The uppermost layer, which will be above ground, will be designed as a pedestrian layer with parks, open spaces, and essential services, all within 5 minutes of walking. Below that, there will be a service layer for physical infrastructure, and it will be directly below ground level. Further below the service layer will be the spline, an ultra-high-speed transit system responsible for connecting communities along the line. The planned transportation system should get passengers anywhere in the city in less than 20 minutes. Clean energy and high-speed transportation aren't the only thing the Saudis are experimenting with on the NEOM project. With the designation of the living laboratory, NEOM has the mandate to wean Saudi Arabia off its reliance on oil and lead the nation in innovation and tourism. Confidential documents obtained by the Wall Street Journal mention plans for flying drone taxis, a Jurassic Park-style amusement park with robotic dinosaurs, and the highest density of Michelin-starred restaurants in the country. In addition, there's a proposal to allow alcohol to be served in these establishments, which is unlike the rest of the country. There's even talk of cloud seeding machines, glow-in-the-dark sand, and a large artificial moon that would illuminate the night sky, all of which, if successful, could radically alter the region's barren terrain. Do we think this will actually be successful? There is still a lot we don't know about the Line. Typical city facilities such as schools, hospitals, and gardens will be carefully planned in line of the people's predicted preference for access to high-quality education, healthcare, and leisure opportunities. In addition, the city is expected to be a premier tourist destination due to its high standard of living and temperate weather. The majority of Saudi Arabia has a desert environment, with daytime temperatures over 113 Fahrenheit, which is exceedingly unpleasant. But Talbot has relatively moderate temperatures, making it ideal for tourism. The Saudi government is also attempting to allay any concerns about the governance model that would be implemented under the line. The entire NEOM territory will be a free trade zone with its own tax structure and judicial system that will operate independently of the rest of the Saudi system. But what about the innovative line design? While the city's emphasis on green technologies is intended to ensure a symbolic relationship with the environment, the city's layout literally cuts through the landscape, forcing its way through the mountainous terrain and leaving the coastline largely inaccessible. And although the line design is interesting and would provide an incredible sight from space, it's not been explained how the pattern actually improves sustainability and results in faster transit times. Lastly, the issue of whether or not this arrangement will allow for efficient operation and establishment of a thriving metropolitan area still remains unanswered. But who knows? Maybe the line was never meant to provide the world with answers for sustainability and congestion. Some think it was built to accomplish a different purpose, namely, to attract attention. Regardless of the motivation in these unanswered questions, this project is still well underway. In April 2021, an agreement was signed with US-based Hyzon Motors to develop a plant to build up to 10,000 hydrogen fuel cell-powered commercial vehicles per year. As of June 2021, Hanmi Global, a South Korean project and construction management firm, will be overseeing many of the project's designs, structures, and execution functions for the line. Companies from around the world have been invited to bid on the construction of the tunnels to build the spline, and Oracle was announced as the first tenant to occupy NEOM's data center, providing high-speed connectivity to all visitors and residents. The city is expected to welcome its first residents in 2024.